Hi, thanks for tuning in to my channel. This video is going to help beginners start to win more games of pool, and it's going to do this by teaching you the correct order to pot balls in, while also improving your potting and positional play. Now, I actually did a similar video to this that was a bit more advanced. I looked at more advanced techniques for winning games. If you're interested in that video, then I'll pop a link to it on the screen at the end. But now, let's jump into this one. I've set up this little drill here to get you started. Start you off potting easy balls, working on your position, but thinking about the order that you want to take them in. And I was actually sent the link to UK 8-Ball Pool website that had this exact same exercise on it. And it's actually the inspiration for this video, because I think what they're teaching you is wrong. What they suggest is you pot this yellow first, then this one, then this one, and finally this one to get on the black. Now, I think if you do that, you're moving the white about quite a lot, which if you can avoid is something that most professionals would advise doing it, because there's more risk involved. But they do introduce a massive risk if you take it in that order, which I'll show you just now. So let's say we've potted that one, potted that, and potted that, and now we're down onto this one. What could happen here is you need to get this white quite far out to get onto that one. So you could hit this badly and not end up in that one at all. Or you could leave yourself around about here. Now, because this is your last ball, no matter where you leave the white, you're having to move the white over that side to get on the black. Now, it's quite feasible that you could pop this yellow, your white's coming off here, you want to go back across that way, you hit it a bit badly, you could end up in that pocket. So they've suggested a way that introduces a risk that actually doesn't need to be there. So let's re-rack them and see if we can find a different route. Now, I can think of two better ways of playing this particular routine, and it all depends on what your first and last ball is. And I talk about the importance of the last ball in that more advanced video, so please check it out. Now, for me, your last ball is normally one that gives you the best position on the black. It's normally closest to the black. So this could actually be your last ball. You know, if you leave the white anywhere here, you've got a simple shot on that to leave yourself a simple shot on the black. But if you didn't want to leave that as your last ball, then I think it would be better to leave one of these two. And that's because when you're on those ones, you're just moving the white down this way to get on the black. So you're eliminating that risk of playing a foul shot. So let's take this as our first shot and see what we can do. If this is our first and we want one of those two as our last, then we need to play on one of these two off this one. So you can see straight away, I'm not moving the white ball a lot at all. This is what I'm going to try and do for this whole routine. Just want to move this one a bit out, so I'm leaving myself a fairly straight pot on that. So you can see I've almost completed this routine and there's been no risk at all. And I'm pretty much straight on the black. So there you go. Practice that routine, see how many times you can complete it, see if there's a particular order that suits you better. But if you are finding it too easy, then let's now introduce one little problem into it and see how we can tackle that. Now, before I introduce this problem into the mix, now is a good time just to pause and say, if you're enjoying the video, then please give me a like. It really helps this channel grow and the video to be seen by others. And also, I'll just pause for a second to say hi and thanks to Deborah in South Florida, Slayer in Tanzania, Mike Wood in South Africa, Nick Williams and Hillbilly Life in Ohio. I like to hear where people are watching from, so just drop that in the comments below. It's really cool to me. It's just a bit of fun. I like to know where you're watching from. And if you haven't checked out Nick and Hillbilly Island Life before, they do both have some great cool content on their channel. So have a look at them too. But let's get back to it. Thanks. Now, I've set up the same routine here, but I've added one more ball into the mix, and I've put it next to this yellow here. So we've created a problem here. These two haven't got a natural pocket to go in. They're blocking each other. So what you need to do is actually move them. So now you're introducing a more advanced technique into this beginner exercise, but it teaches quite a few interesting things. So first of all, if you're trying this routine, my biggest piece of advice to you is when you're going to move these, is to try and do it as early on in this routine as possible. If you can do it while you've still got one of two balls over this pocket, it means that if you miss it, or if you don't get on one of those two, you're going to have a pot after it. And that's what professionals will always do, or always try to do. If they've got a problem on the table, they want to tackle it as early as possible, because there's more chance that if they don't get it right, they're going to be on an alternative. And even if they miss something, miss a cannon altogether, it means that they might be able to get off another ball. Now, the second thing is it's going to start to get you thinking how to cannon into it. You've got two options here. This is obvious ball to cannon into. It's quite an easy cannon. Now, you can do it one of two ways. You could leave yourself fairly straight and cannon straight into them this way. And what you're trying to do is judge moving that yellow up. You can move it up and it'll go towards the middle pocket. So it'll get you to start judging how well that cannon is. The alternative is that you could actually pot this, follow through with the white, hit off the cushion, and come at them from behind. What that will do is it introduces a risk that you might stick to them. So you might not be on anything. But if you were playing straight into them from here, there's a risk that this ball could head towards that cushion. So there's a little bit of risk either way. And most players will feel comfortable with one way or another. So I think it's up to you to work out what's best for you. But it'll also depend on the angle that you get. If you pot this ball, and then you land, say you land there, then you're probably going to go cushion first. If you land here, you'll go straight into them. But I'll just play both shots and see how it works out. See if you can see what we're talking about. Now, I'm going to play this early on in the break. I'm going to have left myself this pot here. So hopefully if I mess it up, I've still got that one. So let's try and play straight into them first. So, I mean, that's not too bad. They both pot into that pocket. I didn't really hit it how I intended. I got a little bit more screw off it, which is why I hit the side of it and the white came down that way. But because I've left one of two balls here, I've got a shot. Let's try it the other way. And that's what I was talking about with this one, that you could end up blocking the path. So I would definitely play straight into them from that. I think this black's a bit of a nuisance here. If it wasn't there, you would probably play cushion first more, because you might end up in one in the middle, but the black is blocking it a little bit. If I stun this more, you can see I've hit that better. So I'm now pushing that yellow towards the middle, which is what I wanted to do. This one hasn't went into the cushion, so it's well out in the open. And as I said, I would have left that one there. So I've always got options now to finish the game. So that would give me my first ball. Got this. And again, we're not moving the white about a lot. We're trying to make the finish as easy as possible. And that's how I would play it. So give the beginner one a go. If you're finding it too easy, then try that one and just keep playing it, because you're going to learn skills off that. I hope you've liked the video. If you have, give me a comment and a thumbs up.